Hi, hello, my name is Holger from BDR Germany, and I would like to introduce you today to the brightening program of the BDR dermaceutical concept. The brightening program is a series that is the first aid and the first choice for all people that have problems with age spots, chloasma, hyperpigmentations, all sorts of irregularities in their facial expression, in the way the skin looks like, if there is redness, if there is darker circles, darker spots, scar marks, for pigment-rich skin, all sorts of disorders based on pigmentation will be sorted with this program. So let me introduce you to the brightening concept and to the mission of the brightening concept, because our goal is to help all affected people, no matter what age, no matter what gender, no matter what skin color, that have their personal goal and the personal desire for a flawless, even and perfect skin. And even and perfect you will hear quite often in this presentation, because the series is called EP, that stands for even and perfect. We want to solve these problems to give the clients a perfect and even a flawless look as quick as possible, as effective as possible, and on several levels. Because BDR stands for biotechnological dermaceutical reconstruction that works on cellular basis, on cellular levels, on intercellular communication, on extracellular levels. So that means that all messengers in between the cells are always also being influenced by these dermaceutical and biotechnological compounds that are used. And the mission is fulfilled quite easily, because the question of all the clients and the request of all clients is quite easy. They would not like to wear too much makeup, that they have to cover the spots and the irregularities. Using these products, we can already promise one thing, that people will wear less makeup, redness will disappear slowly but surely, as well as all sorts of hyperpigmentations. And to give this kind of promise, we had to pretty well think about how to fulfill that and how to fulfill this promise. And we are using highly effective, high-tech, active ingredients that lighten pigment spots. The imbalance of the pigment forming process is completely redefined, and the protein plasmin, which is, funnily enough, is always found near to pigment spots. So when a lot of studies that have been done in the past have found out that this plasmin, which is a protein, is always close to the melanocytes, which is those cells that are producing the melanin, and they will release that melanin into the upper layers of the skin. Another compound, another biotechnological compound, takes care about the communication between pigment producing and pigment carrying cells, which means that it's from tyrosine, which is an amino acid that is reformed inside our body to tyrosinase, which is an enzyme. And this enzyme, TRP1 and TRP2, they are in charge to communicate the release of pigment from the melanocytes into the epidermal layers of the skin. So what we are doing, we're using our prize-winning complexes to reduce melanin transport and melanin quality. We are using the globally recognized power active ingredient tranexamic acid in many different products in the entire series. So you will find that reduces the interaction between those cells who produce and who carry the melanin. The skin becomes even and perfect in quite short time. So age spots, chloasma, hyperpigmentation, even redness is being reduced as much as possible within the scope of the individual genetic predisposition. So that also means that during time when you're using when you're using this program, the brightening program, these 5 products, during the entire time it has been taken care of from many different sides, that the information to produce, to carry, or to even lower the quality of the melanin, that is warranted throughout the entire time of application. That would also mean that people that go through an hormone change, especially after pregnancy, a lot of people will have perioral pigmentation problems, or on the forehead we will find pigmentation problems. Throughout that time, until the hormones have come, let's say, back to normal, they would have to use this program throughout that time. And for people when we have genetic causes, the Even and Perfect series will be constant companion for them to make sure that the spots will not come back. And that is one thing that differentiates the programs. There is a program against acne, there's a program for rejuvenation for the skin. The brightening program is the one program that really has to be used continuously. Otherwise, already after a few months, we will recognize the spots might come back. So let me introduce you to the steps that are needed to fulfill that promise. You will be able to find a 4 weeks set where there is all 5 products in a smaller size. Because the thing is, we would not recognize immediate effects, as the epidermal layers of mid-European skin type, Caucasian skin type, would take about 28 to maximum 35 days until the skin is completely renovated, until the epidermal layers are completely renewed. So what we see today on the surface is the pigmentation that has been placed 28 days before. Of course, it would make sense to also maybe combine that with an acid peeling or with a dermabrasion to take down the pigments in the old layers of skin. But from the day you're using the brightening program, you will see then after those 30 days latest how effective they are. Already some of the ingredients, they work already after 8 days, 9 days, 12 days. And there you can see a lot of benefits. It's 5 very simple and 5 very easy steps that I would like to introduce to you. First step is always cleansing, and with cleansing most mistakes are being made in the daily routine of cosmetics, because already the cleanser is in charge to promote the activity of all serums, of all creams that are being applied right after. Quite basically, a cleanser can also block the ability for the active ingredients to be put deeper into the skin, to kind of penetrate into the layers where they need to penetrate. So the moment you would use a cleanser with SLS, which is is a cleanser based on sodium laureth sulfate, that would be drying. So that would be not benefiting the goal of a nice, even and perfect surface of the skin. If we're using cleansers that contain any sorts of microplastic, silicones or mineral oils, this performance might be nice in cleansing, but it would be terrible because those cleansers are blocking the active ingredients from penetrating into deeper layers. This is why inside the entire set you will find the daily cleansing foam. It is a nice soft cream that is being used very easily. This cream contains of proteins and amino acids that has also the ability to replace the natural moisturizing factor, or to enrichen the natural moisturizing factor inside the skin. It cleanses perfectly and thoroughly. What I like very much also is to use it with a little brush, so it can be foamed up and lathered all over the face, all over the neck. And a lot of men even use it as a shaving cream who don't like or cannot tolerate those alkaline shaving creams. That is a deep cleansing, a rich moisture, and it contains nothing that would be uncomfortable for the skin, that would be not tolerable for the skin or the environment. And you will see if you go and check some cosmetic analysis portals, BDR will always have the green formula, will always have the perfect formula, and especially the deep cleanser is one of the favorite ones, as it is quick, it is easy, and it is perfect to use even under the shower. So let's go through some facts. Produce 600 is one of the active ingredients that is in charge to replace those missing amino acids that would disturb the moisture binding capacity inside the dermis. So this biomimetic copy of the natural moisturizing factor, that means it is exactly the same combination as we would find in our own body, which kind of represents also the philosophy of BDR pretty much, as all sorts of products that are being used, they are not only working always against certain inflammations, they are always formulated in a way that they're very well tolerated, because the peptides, they're always very close to the nature of the skin, and this is why also the ability to absorb them very well, and why the activity is so brilliant. So, deep cleanse, very easy, morning and night. You lather a pea-sized amount into the damp palms, wash it up, foam it up, apply it, rinse it or splash it off the face, and that's done in a few seconds. And if you want to leave the product on for 2-3 minutes during shaving or toothbrushing, no problem, because that's just an extra portion of moisture. There is, for those who might have pigmentation problems and inflammation problems, there is also an alternative cleanser which is not in the set, but I'd like to talk about, which is then the Remove pH, which is the most anti-inflammation cleanser that we have in our entire program. So if the skin has to deal with inflammations parallelly, this serum cleanser would also be perfect, can be used as a mask as well. Leave it on for 5 to 10 minutes, then the anti-inflammatory ingredients will work their way to deeper layers, and that is also very suitable for reddened skin, for cuporose skin, for rosacea, even for acne is possible. For those who like more the creamy cleansers, a super soft and gentle cleanser on the base of aloe vera, that is our product called Remove. And those two alternative cleansers can easily be exchanged. In the basic set, you will find Deep Cleanse. The second step, and that is one of, if not the most important, BDR is the company that is B, biotechnological, D, dermaceutical reconstruction, is the company that is also specialized in acid-based treatments. So for the brightening, let's say for the skin condition and for the request of brightening, pigment, equalizing products, we will need a serum that is used daily. And the serum that is used daily is an acid. But it's not an exfoliating acid, it is an acid that goes right to the depth of the pigment building cells and works on their communication. Tranexamic acid and niacinamide is these two active ingredients that are in that product in highest concentration. So if a laboratory that creates a new active ingredient would make studies and say, okay, use it with 0.01%, so you can use the name, but there is no activity. And if the laboratory would say, if you want to have the maximum activity and the maximum result, you would have to use, let's say, 3% or 4% of each active ingredients. This is exactly the amount that we will always put in our products. So BDR will always warranty the highest possible and the highest logical amount of active ingredients. Here, niacinamide and tranexamic acid, they have two functions. First of all, niacinamide lightens and equalizes the skin tones, reduces impurities, reduces redness, smoothens the skin, and is very it works very anti-inflammatory. And it gives a lovely glow. It gives the most beautiful glow back to the face that normally has to work with flaws and with problems. It effectively works against pigmentations. Even stronger against pigmentation is tranexamic acid, but that comes from another direction with another approach to the melanocyte, to the pigment building cell. It lightens the skin because it inhibits the tyrosinase activity and the melanin synthesis. So that will mean that concentrated melanin is being removed from the outside of the spot to the inside. And that is what you can already see after 2-3 weeks, that the spots are shrinking and they're losing the borderline, the borders from outside. So you will see them being less and less contrasty. So also very important for the tranexamic acid, it prevents the cellular interaction between melanocytes and keratinocytes. So the quality also go down of the melanin, and it inhibits UVB inducted hyperpigmentation. That is one point. Ultraviolet rays are mostly in charge of pigmentation spots, and UVA, UVB are the ones that create disorders of pigmentation and make them visible with the UVA. And tranexamic acid, you don't have to be fearful. It's not an exfoliating acid or really a very aggressive acid. It can even be placed very close to the eye area. So I have even clients that use it if they have pigmentation on the eyelid or under the eye with dark circles or red spots under the eye. They would use that even locally, only for that area. The tranexamic acid and niacinamide can be placed really close to the eye, even very close to the lip border. So it has nothing in common with an exfoliation acid. Still, I would recommend an exfoliation acid every now and again. So once a week, like a large molecular milk and citric acid combination, which also we have in our program, that can be used on top of that to also make sure that the dead cells that still carry the melanin, that those cells will be removed from the surface of the skin. Now, we have done a lot already, but now for everyday use, what we need is a protection of sun. And not only in summertime, a person that has to deal with hyperpigmentations will immediately recognize, even in winter, even in those days when there is not so much ultraviolet exposure, that immediately the darker spots react more quickly and they will build up their contrast to the area where they are sitting in. So for everyday use, where there is light, there's always sun rays, we recommend to use a sunscreen. But I understand completely everybody who says, now come on, I have to use a serum, I have to use a hyaluronic serum, I want to use a repair serum. And then on top of that, I would also have to use a cream. And on top of that, I would use to have a sunscreen that piles up to an uncomfortable mass of creams and lipids. And then it's just not comfortable anymore. And this is why BDR has invented the worldwide first hyaluronic acid serum that also carries a repair complex and that also gives a factor 30 protection of UVA and UVB. And that goes onto the face, into the skin, right after the tranexamic acid, before any other cream, or just like that, every morning. And this is, you could say, it only carries very light lipids, so it's a very fluffy, very, very soft lotion that really fabulously is being absorbed into the dermis very, very quickly. There is no white flaking, because it goes together with the hyaluronic acid deep inside the skin. So Recharge Sun is not a sunscreen. It is a multi-level serum that contains maximum moisturizers, a repair complex that repairs during sun exposure, and that really protects the cells from having damage caused by ultraviolet rays. And of course, most important for everybody that has to deal with pigmentation, that also prevents a lot from pigmentation. Let's go and see the details of the hyaluronic acid serum. So as I said, we have a triple effect here. We have a neutralization of 79 to 79.5% of ultraviolet rays with a factor of 30. If you would use a cream that has a sun protection factor 50, that would, if lucky, that would just add another % on that amount of protection. So there is no use to put like triple the amount of chemicals onto the surface if we have already inside the skin the right amount to protect from 97% of ultraviolet rays. So that is really enough for all sorts of skin types in a normal weather, in a normal summer day in middle of Europe. If you're going further south, it might be useful to reapply the sun serum, let's say every 3 hours, even on Fitzpatrick 1, maybe every 2 hours. But pigment disordered skin is actually also not supposed to leave the house or to leave the shadow if outside is a UV index higher than 6, 7, or 8. So there we nearly also have to understand, should not be overdoing that sun problem. Very important to understand, this product needs approximately 15 to 20 minutes to start working. You can imagine it's like little umbrellas that have to be opened inside the skin, and that takes a few minutes. So it's no use to use the cream before that, then go out to the sun and then apply Recharge Sun. That should be the third place of your daily routine after cleansing, after using 1 time a day the tranexamic acid in high sun exposure. Like to use it twice a day, or if you have very strong and very visible spots, please use it twice a day. In the morning, your serum against the sun. In the evening, your serum that again brightens. So when you have applied Recharge Sun, and that means about 5 pumps for the face, another 5 pumps for the neck, another 5 pumps for décolleté. Keep it for 15 to 20 minutes until the full protection is built up. And during that time, you can get ready for your sun bath. In the step 4, the Brilliant EP, that stands for a serum that has a triple effect. 3 most important active ingredients are working. It's the trinity of the most successful ingredients that working against pigmentation and that works against dark circles, vascular redness, that work against age spots and against chloasma, pigmentation on hands. So this serum is basically the one that also is in the combination to the second step, one of the most important, because the tranexamic acid, which you found also here, you will find again in here, that works on the communication and on the inhibition of tyrosinase. You will find another biotechnological compound which makes it possible that already smallest amounts will reduce the melanin and inhibits the melanin transport, reduces again the enzymes tyrosinase. So from another side, we will inhibit the production of the dark spots. And finally, you will also find vitamin C. And vitamin C here is a very important point. But let me tell you one thing before. Most vitamin C products you will buy on the market that contain vitamin C, real vitamin C, you would apply it, and already then in the minute of application, it's inactive. The only way of having active vitamin C inside your skin is to use this compound, which is a complex that builds the vitamin C only when it's inside the skin. So the active ingredient Rona Care, which is a beautiful anti-aging and a beautiful glow reconstructing active ingredients, also works against pigmentation problems. This vitamin C is being built inside the body. There's no use to put it from outside. Absolutely not. And that is a perfect match for whether every evening in the darker times or morning and night in the lighter moments when there is more risk of pigmentation. To use the Brilliant EP is quite simple, quite easy. Brilliant EP, you would use 3 to 5 pumps, depending, of course, on the area of application. There will be some clients that are using only these 2 products only for the circles and the dark circles for the eyes. Other clients will use it only for the forehead. Other people who have pigmentation problems throughout the entire face would use it on the entire face. So could be 1 pump, could be 5 pumps. Locally or even globally, it can be used. Preferably in darker months, once per day in the evenings, and on more exposed days when we need more power and when we need more protection and more influence to the melanocytes. You can even use it morning and night. So the fifth part, step 5, is Revital EP. Revital EP is a fabulous, very soft and gentle cream, and it smells very similar like the serum, also like this nice cherry blossom, lovely cream. It's very light, so the texture is very easy to spread, so don't use too much. You will be really thrilled how far you can distribute this product. And Revital EP contains of, again, all these precious active ingredients, and on top it's got a carrier system that helps to guide the active ingredients further into the deeper layers, and this is why this kind of slide is used at the very end. Also, it will reduce spots, chloasma, give a radiant tone. It protects also the skin from the loss of moisture that we call tevel, and on its own already it would help pigmentation problems in 10 to 12 weeks. If we're using the entire program, you will see already after 9 to 12 days the first results, and of course much stronger results as we're kind of piling up the active ingredients. These 5 products can be found in a monthly set, so of course you could buy every month this one set for the routine or for the ritual being used. Most people will then see when the first product is empty, they will then replace it with the original size. And as in every cosmetics, of course, there will also be products which are the perfect match for that. Let's say a special mask or an eye mask, or what I would recommend also, especially in combination with BDR estheticians, because BDR estheticians inside their clinics, they are well trained to understand what they can do and how to use these products together with other BDR products and techniques. So to get rid of old pigmentations, they will have a dermabrasion program. They will have an acid program that can get rid of the old spots and the old skin, let's say. They will also have products that can be inserted with a needling that they will go quicker and deeper into the skin, as you could never achieve that at home. So in the correlation of home care and BDR esthetician, you will have even higher results, and they will put you to the next level of success. But also for the home care, you will find ampoules like masks. I call them the perfect match. And there will be, for example, a tonic or an acid peeling for home care. There is ampoules, there is masks, there is care for the neck, there is a special care for the eyes, there is also a brightening and whitening hand cream to get rid of age spots and pigmentation from the hands. Best, of course, together with these products. So you can see, very thoughtful, very logic, down to earth, but down to the depth of the skin. All formulations are green. They respect the environment. They respect the biology of every skin. There is no risk in using. There is nothing but success in short time. So if somebody would ask me, what can I do against pigmentation problems? It's this, and it works, truly.